Okay, welcome everyone to our Guided Wealth Portfolio webinar that we're going to be able to talk about why we're so excited about our digital platform here for investing. We're going to explain what it is, how the platform works, how you can get involved, how to get started. We're also going to talk about the 9 best practices for investing and building wealth for your future. And so we're excited to bring this to you today. If you have any questions along the way, you can in the Q&A, or if you're on Facebook Live, just feel free in the comments section below to go ahead and answer a question. And then we will make sure that that question either gets answered live, or if we don't have a chance to do that, we will make sure to follow up with an email to ensure that you get that question answered. So, okay, so we're going to share my screen here. Let's see, share screen. Here we are. Let's put it in the presentation mode. Okay, so we're going to talk about, again, guided wealth portfolios, and you may hear us refer to this as GWP. So that is short for guided wealth portfolios. So let's first talk a little bit about financial freedom and who we are. So financial freedom is an independent, locally owned wealth management firm. We have 5 locations in Oregon, as well as another location in Southwest Washington. So we are a Northwest locally owned company, but we have clients all over the United States. And with this platform, I think it's a really great platform that allows us to have clients and stay connected all over the state. So we're excited about that. We have been in business and serving clients for over 17 years now, almost going on 18 years. And our broker dealer is LPL Financial. So any accounts that you open with us, the assets are custodianed at LPL Financial, including these guided wealth portfolio accounts. Okay, so what is Guided Wealth Portfolio? So it is a new online platform to help you invest for retirement. So this is an example of the dashboard that you will see once you have set up your free account. There's a lot of free things that you can do on the platform, and it will help you get a really good sense of where you're at on your track to retirement, and there's basic financial planning tools that you can play around with that we'll talk more about here. The other great thing about guided wealth portfolios is you have access to our team of advisors, which we have a wealth of knowledge that we can share. And I think that's what's different for our digital guided wealth portfolio platform than a lot of these other do-it-yourselfers or what they can refer to as robo-advisors, where with our platform, you not only get the sophisticated, intuitive, awesome investments that we're going to talk more about, but you also get access to advisors that can help you along the way. So we're excited about that. So why start investing? Planning, there's never a convenient time to start planning for retirement, right? But the earlier that you can start, the better that you prepare for your future. My parents gave me, I consider now at age 40, a great gift. And that gift was when I started my very first job, flipping burgers at McDonald's when I was, I think 16 or 17, they taught me to save a portion of what I made. And at that point, it was just a simple savings account. But very shortly when Roth IRAs came on the scene, they helped me set up my very own Roth IRA with those earnings. And I continued for a long time investing into a Roth IRA. So that was a gift, right? And if my parents didn't give me that gift and teach me that, it would be really hard kind of when I'm, having a family, having kids, busy, right? It's hard to say, stop, let me think about what I need to do for my financial future and let me start figuring out investing. So usually there's not a convenient time to start, but it's never too early. And it's also never too late to start building your financial future. So as you can see this little tree growing here, and the earlier you start or the more time that you have, that's one of the principles in investing. You need time for those investments to grow and get you ready for retirement. Okay, so here is our Guided Wealth Portfolio Advisor team. So, and again, one of the great things about Guided Wealth Portfolio is it gives you access to us as your personal advisor. So this is Chandran Rajaratnam. He is our vice president and located in our Oregon, Salem Valley offices. And we are, as your advisors, help to review your portfolio, help you understand your portfolio performance. And one of the great things about Guided Wealth Portfolio is every Sunday, you get an email and it tells you what happened that week, and then it tells you what has actually happened unique to your account. And that's pretty exciting. So when Guided Wealth Portfolio was first available to us, which is about a year ago, I was one of the first clients on the platform. And it has been so fun to get those emails every week and see what's happening in my account. So it's a great experience where you're really up to date and really easy to understand how your accounts are doing. So here's a picture of Jason Harris. He is another one of our lead wealth advisors, and his home base is out of Corvallis, but he works with clients all over the Willamette Valley and is here to help as a Guided Wealth Portfolio advisor. And then lastly, to answer any investment questions, at our company, Financial Freedom, we love to empower others with education. We want you to understand your investments and also understand how they work, right? And so if you have any questions at any time, you can email, call us, and we're here to help you. Pictured here is Veronica. Veronica is home base is out of Portland, but she works from our Salem office as well. And I think another thing that we are great at is providing financial coaching, right? A lot of times our clients don't even know where to start, or should I be investing in a Roth IRA, or should I be investing in my 401k at work, or should I be paying off my debt, or putting money away? So those are simple questions that just need some financial coaching, and so we're here to provide that as well. Pictured here is Teresa Hill. She is our client service advisor and helps a lot with the Guided Wealth Portfolio, getting you set up if you have questions. Most commonly, Teresa will step in and help with those questions. Okay, so another great thing about Guided Wealth Portfolio is it's very smart technology with 24/7 access. So anytime you want to log in and see what's happening with your account, you can do that. It's updated weekly. It's also backed by our experienced LPL research team. So LPL is the largest independent broker-dealer in the nation, with one of the largest research teams that's often quoted in industry magazines as well as the news, CNBC. You'll see LPL research being quoted and gone to for expertise and advice of what's happening in the markets and the economy. So they actually created the investment track and put together the portfolios behind Guided Wealth Portfolio. So we're excited to have them as a partner. So what happens? How do you get started? So everyone has access to what we call the free proposal. And you're going to get started with just a few basic questions about yourself, like your name, how old you are, your annual income, are you single, married, do you have children, and when you want to retire. And then, of course, your phone number if we need help, or if you need help, we know how to reach out and get in touch with you. The next step, that's step one. The next step is to actually sync your other investments. So let's say that you have a 401k and it is through Fidelity, and their website is what's called Net Benefits, right? So all you do in this this section is you click on the Fidelity Net Benefits, and that will actually take you to a login screen. And you simply use your login for Fidelity and log into your account. And what that does is it pulls that information and aggregates that information onto our financial planning tool. So that way we can show you here coming up on the next pages how you're doing for retirement. Should you be saving more? Should you be saving less? I don't know if that would ever come up. Tax efficiencies, we're going to get to that here in a second. But if you have an account at Vanguard, or if you are already one of our clients, what you would do here is you would log into your LPL account view if you have that, and then that would bring up what you already have within the LPL account. So you can choose. There's hundreds of different companies that we have here. These are just the most common that you see on the screen. But your local bank, there's a lot of things that you can network in. And again, what that does is it allows us to see where you're at on track to reach your goals. Okay. If it for some reason you aren't seeing where the company that you currently have your accounts, you can go ahead and click on the manually report your investments, and you can manually tell Guided Wealth Portfolios on our platform what you have, and that will at least count it towards your goals when we look at that. Okay, so the next section is this is the part that will create your personalized portfolio. So what it's going to do is anything that you've aggregated and networked to the platform, on the left-hand side here, it's going to show your portfolio, how you are currently allocated. Okay, and so it right now it says other, which is most likely if you had all your money at the bank, you wouldn't have stocks and bonds currently. So that's showing that. And then on the other side, it's going to say what we would recommend for you based on some simple questions that you answered in the beginning and some risk profile questions. So you can see it's very detailed of how we would allocate and really diversify that out for you. Okay, so let's talk about the 9 best practices, because this is fun. Let's see here. Okay, so number 1 is diversifying your portfolio to help manage risk and potentially maximize returns. So what does that mean? So when we think about investing, you want to make sure one of the rules to success, if you will, for investing is to make sure that you have a lot of different investments within your portfolio. So if you had, one stock, and that one stock, let's say they were making shoes, and so your stock was all about making profit selling shoes. And let's say the rubber on the sole of the shoes, the product went bad, and so all the shoes fell apart, right? And so no one would want to be buying those shoes, and the stock, because the stock is equity in the company, would go down because no one is wanting to buy any more shoes, right? So you would have no more profits, everything would go away. So if you had everything in one company, not good. As opposed to having investments spread out in thousands of different companies, right? So you can have US stocks, international stocks, large companies, small companies, bonds, which bonds are more what we call fixed income, more secure, as opposed to stock is more risk. So boy, I'm really not explaining this well, but it's the bottom line is you're getting a lot of diversification, a lot of different investments inside one portfolio. So what this program will do is it will look at your current investments, and then it will tell you, are you appropriately diversified? Are you spread out enough to where you're going to minimize risk and maximize returns? Okay, so it does it all for you, and you either get a red X that no, you're not diversified, we need to help, and we can show you how to do that, or a check mark saying, yes, you're doing that great. Okay, the next part is minimize your investment fees. So obviously the more fees that you pay, the less bottom line return that you're going to get. So when you're saving for retirement and you're building this nest egg for the future, you need to make sure that you're aware of the fees that you're paying. And in the last couple years, in our investment world, products have changed and investments have come out that are a lot lower cost and very efficient in getting those good returns at a lower cost. So this program, what we're going to do is show you what are you paying now, and then what would you be paying within the guided wealth portfolio, and how can you save money and build more assets by paying lower fees. The next one, investing idle cash. So a lot of times when we look inside our clients' retirement portfolios, a default investment inside 401ks, retirement accounts, is what they call stable value, or a money market account. And what that means is your money is not actually invested in long-term investments. It's really sitting in cash where you're not maximizing the return. And so if we can simply get all of that cash that is put aside for your retirement, and we can invest all that, then that is going to maximize the returns for your retirement nest egg. So again, if you network your accounts to this, we're going to show you exactly, if you invest that, how big of a difference that's going to be at retirement. And you'll be surprised, it's huge. Okay, the next thing is evaluate your employee-sponsored retirement plan options. And so what this means is, what do you have available at work? So do you have a 401k? Maybe it's a 403b or a deferred comp 457. You know, there's a lot of different work sponsored plans, simple IRAs, SEP IRAs. So the question is, do you have one available? Are you participating in that? And are you getting a match? So those are all some questions that we would ask. And you can tell the guided wealth portfolio in the platform what you're currently doing, and that will either give you a check mark, yes, you're doing that, or a red mark saying no, you're not using that to your advantage. Okay, so the next one is benefit from tax loss harvesting strategies that can reduce your taxes. And this strategy would be appropriate for an account that is what we call a taxable investment account. And so this is an account that you would open, that if you want to use the money, you know, let's say 5-10 years from now, maybe you want to buy a house, or you want to go on a great vacation. It's an account that you would use if you need to access to the money before 59 and a half. So it's still a long-term investment goal. You know, that's what we would recommend. But the advantage to what Guided Wealth Portfolio will do for those types of accounts is they will do the tax loss harvesting. So it's a very tax efficient way. When you're saving for the long term, you do not want investments that are spinning off taxable dividends, interest, that's just going to make your tax situation worse in the current year. So how the account is managed is in a way to make it very tax efficient. So that is, you want to be aware of taxes when you're saving for your future and making sure you're doing that right. Okay, the seventh best practice is making sure that you're saving for retirement. We recommend 15% of your money is saved for retirement, okay? And that can happen through your 401k at work. It can happen through a Roth IRA. It can happen through a lot of different investment vehicles. But a rule of thumb to keep you on track for your retirement is to save 15%. Sometimes you need to do more if you're starting later in life, but that's something that we can help and guide you through. So I was actually going to bring on Jason to talk to us about what is a Roth IRA and why is it so powerful when you're saving for your future. So Jason, can you come on here and talk to us about that?
Absolutely. So a Roth IRA is you put the money in after tax.
We lost you, Jason. Jason, we can't hear you.
Taxes.
Jason? Okay, so Jason, because we can't hear you, I am going to step in and explain what a Roth IRA is. So bummer, because Jason does such a great job of explaining what a Roth IRA is, but I'm gonna tell you because I don't want you to miss it. Okay, so a Roth IRA is money that you put into an individual retirement account. So a Roth is something that you have to set up on your own. So you can set that up through our Guided Wealth Portfolio, and you can put, if you're under 50, you can put 5,500. You have to have earned income to put money into a Roth IRA, okay? And if you're over 50, you can put in 6,500, okay? So each year there's a limit of what you can put into it. There's also a limit on your income. So if you're a high income earner, over 110,000 if you're single, over 180,000 if you're married filing jointly, you cannot put money into a Roth IRA. So there's some parameters. We got to be careful. We can answer that for your specific situation. But the awesome thing about a Roth IRA is the money that you put in, it will grow for the future, for your retirement, completely tax-free. So when you take the money out after 59 and a half, and there's another rule that you have to have it in there for 5 years before you can touch the earnings. But really, if you're there long-term, you can take the money out tax-free and use that for retirement. The money most likely that you're putting away for your retirement inside your 401k, your 457, all of these accounts, those are going to come out taxable in retirement. So it's really powerful, especially if you're young, to have a Roth IRA bucket and then to have your other retirement bucket. I would encourage you to do both. And Guided Wealth Portfolio is a great platform to set up your Roth IRA. Okay. The next best practice is allocating earnings into the 401k to save on taxes. So again, what I just referred to, the advantage of putting money into a 401k is you're getting a tax break now for that, right? So if you're in a higher income tax bracket, it would make sense to put money into that 401k because you're deferring the taxes on those earnings now. And then most likely you're getting a match from your employer. So it's really good to take advantage of those accounts as well. And step 9 is making sure that you're taking advantage of the Roth IRA. So those are all the different best practices for investing for your future. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and put it into our Q&A, and at the end we'll get to those questions and make sure that we're getting those answered. Okay, so here, this is the awesome thing. Another awesome thing about Guided Wealth Portfolio is you will get automatic updates. So those come every Sunday. It tells you in that email exactly what's happening with your money. How are we reinvesting it? How are we making little course corrections, what we call rebalancing? And the advantage to that is it keeps you in your appropriate risk and appropriate model for your specific unique situation. And so these are some of the details that you will see happening with your experience on an ongoing basis as we continue to monitor your account and make changes. You don't have to do anything, right? You just have to say, if you have any changes in life, we want to know about it. But other than that, this is our job, is to update and monitor and manage this for you, which is so powerful, I think. Potential tax savings. So this is where you will actually see on your platform where if you have taxable accounts, that how we can help you save money on taxes, and we'll show you exactly what that looks like on your platform. Okay, so it's just really easy to set up, just takes a few minutes. So again, you select your account that you want us to manage. You fill out the form, it would be just like giving us your basic information to open a new account. You actually enroll in the program saying, yes, we want you to help us, and then you're done. So is it ever that easy? Most likely along the way, we will be in touch with you if you have any questions. We can help make sure that that is kind of a smooth process. So let's talk about, what does this cost, right? So Guided Wealth Portfolios offer cost-effective investment options. We are really excited about offering this solution to our clients. So if you're already a current client with us and you have maybe a traditional or IRA or a Roth IRA in mutual funds, what we want to do is we want to look at that and say, what you're doing now might have a higher fee, where if we can transition you into this Guided Wealth Portfolio account, we're going to get you lower costs, and most likely we're going to get you more diversification that just wasn't available a couple years ago. So I think as the industry, we've done a really good job at fee compression, they're calling it, and having lower cost options, still really good options for investing in your retirement. And the less fees you pay, the more you can build. So we're excited about this. We use, in the Guided Wealth Portfolios, they use low cost ETF. So what is an ETF? ETF stands for Exchange Traded Funds. So these are funds that are mostly what we call index-based. So just a quick example of what that is, part of a portfolio may be invested in the S&P 500. What's that? The S&P 500 is the 500 largest US-based companies. So there's an ETF that owns those 500 US-based companies, okay? So that's why they could be low cost is they're tracking what we call the indexes. And so you're not just getting one index though, you're getting several, 5 to 7 inside your portfolio to create that diversification, right? You want international, US, small companies, big companies, all, you know, and everything in between. That's what you're getting. What is the minimum? So to start a guided wealth portfolio account, you need $5,000 in your account minimum. So if you, if let's say you have a Roth IRA somewhere and it has $3,000, we could transfer that into guided wealth portfolios, but then you would have to add $2,000 to create that $5,000 minimum. And then the other cool thing about the guided wealth portfolio is we can set it up to where it's automatic. So another successful idea for saving for retirement is set it up automatically, right? Set it up and forget it. Save $50, $100 a month, and you know that you're building that strong financial future with those systematic investments. So we can set it up monthly. We can start it, stop it. It's very flexible. And you can also do it one time. So you can put 5,000 in and never fund it again. There's a lot of different options that you can do. There's all the disclosures. And so what I wanted to do now is I wanted to actually take you where the next step is. So I'm going to minimize this screen here. And if you go to, okay, here we are. So on our, I just want to make sure everyone can see that, right? No, let's make sure that you guys can see this. New share, desktop, here I am, share screen. Say yes. Can you hear it? Can you see it? Say yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Okay, so here is the on our website, Guided Wealth Advising. You could read more about it here, but all you do is click your free plan, okay? And that will take you to the website that says get started. Here it is, it's easy. Put your email address in there, and then you're choosing a password, and then you just hit click and sign up, and then that will take you to the page where you talk about your age, when do you want to retire, you know, some basic financial planning questions, which will get you then into the platform where you can start looking at your best practices. What are you doing? What do you need to do more of, and all of that. Okay, so let's talk about some questions and answers. Now is the time to question. So we have a question already. The question is, how can I access my money if I need it in an emergency? And can I add money to my account online? Okay, so so how to access the money. So again, this is, I would say, the goal of the guided wealth portfolio and the goal of investing is it's not an emergency fund. All right. So I would recommend you create an emergency fund before you start saving for retirement. All right. So usually the definition of an emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So if your expenses are $3,000 a month, you want at least 3,000 times 3, $9,000 in your savings before you would start saving for retirement. And you do that because you don't want to have to get hit by a penalty from the IRS if you need to access your retirement accounts when you're under 59 and a half. Now, there are some exceptions. So in a Roth IRA, the money that you put in, you can take back out without paying a penalty. You just can't touch the earnings. So if you had to get the money, you have to just sign a distribution form electronically, and then you can get that money back out of your guided wealth portfolio accounts. So there is no penalty from guided wealth portfolio or from us for getting your money back. And then it's simply to add money. Again, we need your bank account. We link that to your guided wealth portfolio account, and then we can request money to be sent into your guided wealth portfolio. So another question we have is, how much does it cost? So again, to get started, it does not cost anything to get started to open an account. You just, let's say you put $10,000 onto the platform. The cost is the total cost is 0.98%. So that 0.63 is what financial freedom and what and then the guided wealth portfolio is the other piece of that, is 0.35%. So your total is 0.98 that you see the cost on the account. The next one is, will I be able to work with a live person if I open this account? Yes, you will. So you will have access to the full staff at Financial Freedom. We have a 11, almost 12 person staff. So we are all here to help serve you, work with you, and answer any questions, help you with financial coaching, anything you have. Okay, another question we have is, I'm not sure what type of account to start. Will your company help me decide? Yes, so we are happy to have a phone call with you, get to know your situation a little bit more, and decide what would be appropriate for you. So would it be a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA? If you need a tax deduction, there's a lot of different ones we could do. Okay. So another question we have is, why is this better than basic mutual funds? So I don't know if better is the right word. It's just, I would say lower cost, most likely, and a little bit more intuitive in the sense of we're going to actively monitor and rebalance your funds for you based on your risk tolerance. So in a mutual fund, you could have one time bought a mutual fund and then forgotten about it, right? And so a lot of times that will not automatically change as you get closer to retirement, let's say, or if you, let's say you're a moderate investor and then that fund has become very aggressive, right? So over time, you're creating more and more risk in your portfolio without even knowing about it because of the way that the investments work. Where within the guided wealth portfolio, that's our job, is to make sure that that account is routinely monitored and rebalanced to make sure that you stay in your appropriate risk. And that's super important when we've had a bull market for the last 8 years, right? You don't want to be too aggressive as we go into the later stages of this bull market. So with this portfolio, it really just makes sure that you're going to stay within your risk profile. Okay, next question. Are there any restrictions on who can sign up? So yes, so Jason, can you, Jason would like to answer this. You can Jason, can we step in if we can hear you?
Let me try it again. Is this working?
I'm hearing you, yes.
Oh, good. Okay, so the question was, are there restrictions on who can sign up?
Yes.
Yes, so most everyone can sign up. You do need to be not as close to retirement age, but retirement age can be pushed out quite far. So you can still be, let's see, the oldest you can be is 69, is that right? No.
They keep increasing it. When they first created the platform, it was 65. I think it's now 68 or 69.
Okay, yeah, I think one of those. But you have to have at least 5 years until you retire. So when you go in there, and if you're, let's just say you're 67, you need to push your retirement age out, saying you're going to retire, it has to be at least 5 years from there. So as
Yeah,
long as you
I would say who this is not for is someone that's in retirement that is wanting to create a distribution strategy from their retirement assets, right? So
right.
these are clients, if you're in a retirement or a distribution strategy, these are those most likely we're going to help you create a unique distribution portfolio for you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did just confirm it's 68 is.
Yeah, 68 is
maximum
the top range.
Yeah.
And then 18 on the youngest.
Low end. Yeah.
Okay, is there a maximum amount I can invest in this program? Boy, no, there is no maximum. We'll take your millions. All right, any other questions out there? All right, so I think we'll wrap up. So thanks for joining us on your Saturday morning to hear about why we're so excited about our guided wealth portfolios. And we will continue to do more of these. If there's any questions that you have, feel free to email us, and we will be happy to help you. Our mission at Financial Freedom is to help clients pursue financial freedom and pursue a strong financial future. And we want to help you do that. And so I think Guided Wealth Portfolio is a great way to start. And we just hope that you'll reach out and get started. That's often the hardest thing, is to start. But once you start, you have the momentum. And we're just really excited about this program. So hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. And thank you again.